battles in anime are awesome. While it's great to have some one-on-ones, and arguably some of the most memorable battles in anime history show, the team battles are no slouches either. At its core, the good team battle allows for a showcase of how two often contrasting fighters fight together, and at its best, the team battle becomes a culmination of the characters' story arcs and development. Today we're going through a list of what I think are the best team battles in anime. Doesn't matter if it's 2 against 1 or 3 against 1 or the entire roster against a complete monster of a final villain. I'd hate to keep you waiting, so let's dive in. Starting this off is Hunter x Hunter's Chrollo vs Zeno and Silva. Hunter x Hunter has no shortage of team battles, but one thing that really stood out to me is seeing Zeno and Silva battle Chrollo in the York New City arc. In addition to seeing strong fighters duke it out, I love this fight for how much it highlights the impact having an ally can have, especially if that's another powerful ally who can come up with strategies on the fly. Chrollo finds himself on edge as he's forced to switch tactics on the go due to the team up, and it adds another dimension to the fight that we don't often see. The battle didn't finish normally as the Zoldyaks abandoned their mission, but you can truly see how a team up of two top-tier fighters can push someone as strong as Chrollo to the limit. Despite what the characters themselves say, I think even serious Chrollo still would find it difficult to beat the Zoldyaks. Coming up is Asta and Yami versus Dante. Your rival being your best partner in battle? Let me take that back a bit, okay? More than your rival, it's your mentor who's got your back, who's your best partner in battle, and this fight is more than enough proof of that. After a long history of being saved by Yami, it feels refreshing to see Asta finally reaching the point of being able to fight alongside his mentor as equals, even if that means overcoming his limits to do it. It took a while, and it's at this point where we truly see Asta grow up from that noisy, annoying kid early on into a full-fledged badass able to stand side by side with the big bro that's been looking out for him since the start. The fight being amazing ends up becoming second fiddle to the whole emotional investment thing. Why stop at duos when you can have everyone join the party like Ordinal Scale's final boss fight? As a fan of SAO, I really recommend watching Ordinal Scale. Even as a mostly standalone movie, it's one of the best the franchise has to offer, and it has elements that become relevant in Alicization. There are many things to look out for, but the highlight must be the boss fight against an incarnate of Radius. A hopeless boss fight against what's supposed to be Aincrad's original final boss takes the audience through the emotions of despair and hope as Arsuna arrives and Yui brings in almost every named player from all the games into the mix. Everyone gets to get their shots in, and we're treated to some spectacular movie visuals of Arsuna and Kirito landing their signature moves, formally closing by giving us the satisfaction of seeing Aincrad being cleared. It's something that the original story never got to, and it feels cathartic having this movie give us the pleasure of seeing it. Right after that comes another cinematic tie-in, My Hero Academia: The Two Heroes. I've said it before, and it still holds true that My Hero Academia: The Two Heroes is a damn good movie and inclusion to the franchise. I just love the movie for the easily digestible plot, the themes it embodies, and this awesome final battle. A final battle which sees the mostly sidelined All Might come through and give Midoriya the hand he needs to defeat the seemingly invincible Wolfram. I get goosebumps when Yusei Run, played as hero and mentor, proceed to kick ass and beat the hell out of the transformed Wolfram. One of the best moments that year in the world of anime, and it serves as yet another one of Midoriya's highs, a time he seems to have transcended even his idol in greatness. If you're a fan of My Hero Academia in any way, come watch this movie. It's worth the time, if for just this moment alone. And if this list has so far been worth your time, then please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. We're trying to hit 1 million subs by the middle of the year, and we need a little bit more help getting to that finish line. Whether we make it or not, all depends on you. So if you like the video and you're still not subscribed, then please do so. We move on with Father versus Everyone. Full Metal Alchemist can't have set up its final battle any better. In a series with so many explosive powers that ought to make anyone pop out of their seat, the final battle ends up being a battle of wills more than anything. That's what makes Full Metal Alchemist such an awesome shonen. Despite having all those cool abilities, it's a title that doubles down on its philosophical themes, and it shows in this final battle. At this point, Father is pretty much God. There's just no way any kind of physical powers would do him in. Even Mustang's powers, assuming he's even able to fight at this point, would do any good. But here we are, seeing Father get defeated by the sheer potential and power of everyone working together. It's symbolic that Ed finally finishes him with the good old fists, and it's so satisfying to see one at the pinnacle of evolution meet his end against the scrappy power of human will. There's so much more to FMA than this battle, so make sure to start watching the series. Todo and Yuji vs Hanami is another great one. While not as climactic as the Father fight, Todo and Yuji's team up against Hanami is one of the best moments in the entire Jujutsu Kaisen anime. Todo's been the cool bro to Yuji throughout this arc, and seeing them put their quickly built team chemistry in action in this battle is such a great moment. Gojo stole the show at the end, but the teamwork that the two displayed prior to that is something else, don't you think? And that's not even getting to the amazing animation we got for this whole fight. Then again, considering how well the rest of the major fights and key highlights for Jujutsu Kaisen have been animated, it's not surprising for some of you to overlook it. After all, what's gold becomes less valuable when you've got so much of it. And of course, we have to talk about Demon Slayer after Jujutsu Kaisen. I'd say that the adaptation of the Red Light District arc passes with flying colors, bringing to life what was one of the longest battles and arcs the Demon Slayer manga had. Despite lasting for well over half the season's run, the Daki and Gyutaro fight in Demon Slayer never felt that long. Perhaps it's because of the magic of how the fight was structured. It's not just a slugfest featuring the same combatants, and with the main focus being ever shifting, it instead feels like a series of connected fights. You get a bit of Tengen versus the Upper Moons, and then there's the Gamado siblings teaming up in an epic showdown, and the sheer permutation and gimmicks of the fights makes this long stretch very immersive. Face it, time just flew by when watching this fight. Do I even have to talk about the animation at this point though? It's Demon Slayer. It's Ufotable. You know what to expect. Lest we forget, we move on to another Ufotable production, Heaven's Feel. Ryder and Shiro have to be one of the strangest combinations that worked out so well. Nothing about Shiro makes me think that he'd make a good partner for Ryder, but seeing how they took it to the unstoppable Saber Alter gave me some second thoughts. What I like about this team up with Ryder is how the two of them strategized and played to their strengths. Perhaps it has to do with Shiro knowing his former servant's tendencies, but with how they work together, you wouldn't know that they're pretty much known each other as battle partners for a while. Of course, the highlight is more of Ryder's epic attacks and how the entire cavern breaks apart in a clash with Saber Alter. You could just feel the cataclysmic energy watching the sequence, and this battle serves to highlight Ryder's true strength, which is a good thing because Ryder gets jobbed out early on in the other routes. Ending this list is the Momoshiki fight. And here's where the All-Stars make their glorious comeback. After what seemed like forever, Naruto and Sasuke finally return to fight together in Boruto, and it's a moment that we'll remember for the ages. Against a threat like Momoshiki, it requires no less than the finest in the franchise to fight together once again to take him down. No joke, this was probably the most popular Boruto has been in ages, and while nostalgia had something to do with it, it seems that the anime team also went the extra mile to make this fight super special. At that point in Boruto's run, the anime has never looked as good as it did when this fight was ongoing. Bringing out the big guns indeed, both in-universe and out-of-universe. I'm sure you also have some big guns to show, so if you have any other team fights that you want me to look at, tell me in the comments section. In fact, if you want to talk about anything in general, just go ahead. Comments are good for the algorithm. You might also want to check out the channel's Discord server, the Patreon, and the Instagram. Links are in the description, and I look forward to seeing you and connecting with you through those other social media. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a good day, and I wish to see you again for the next video.